Hey guys, Sarah here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how my goals and my thought process in weightlifting has changed over the years and see if this is useful for anyone else. I also kind of wanted to think about where my goals are going and document it. So I am going to make this video. It could be terrible, I have no idea. We're gonna try anyways. Okay, so I started weightlifting in 2014. This is a quick little history. And when I started weightlifting, I did not know if I was going to be good or bad. I had to use other athletes and other coaches to kind of see am I possibly good? Because I needed them to tell me where I was, because I just didn't have enough understanding of the sport to know where I was. I also think when you're starting out, you don't know how good you could get, but over the years it starts to be okay, this is probably where I'm going to land and I'm probably not going to be able to make this. Or things change and you realize you just don't have the capability to make it to that level, so on and so forth. The longer I've been in the sport, the better I am, like I said, at evaluating where I am in that spectrum. So over the years, I've had a number of coaches. When I first started, I had a coach who honestly believed I could make the Olympics. At the time, I think that made sense. The depth of the sport wasn't as deep. I was close to making teams my first 2 years of weightlifting. I made senior trials in 2016, which is a pre-Olympic trials event. I was only 2 years into the sport and I wasn't, in my mind, when I think about it now, I wasn't even as good as I am now, but it was just the timing of when I was in the sport. And that's a huge factor. Timing has a lot to do with where you're going to land. And I personally think that that is something I have learned, because I've won nationals and American Opens and won an international medal. And I've literally had coaches tell me well, if my athlete had been there, you wouldn't have won that. Okay, that's great. It's probably true, but they weren't there. And it's that's like saying, if this person had been there, that person wouldn't have won an Olympic gold medal. Or if they hadn't fallen, they wouldn't have won an Olympic gold medal. This other person would have. Or if they had been born 10 years earlier, they would have won more Olympic medals. There's of course, there's always people better than other people, but you have to show up to win. And if you didn't show up, you can't win. And devaluing other athletes' performances or, what they do, I think, is probably something that happens pretty commonly. But I just want other athletes to know this does happen, and don't let it bother you, because there's same thing can be said for the other people's athletes. Well, what if someone else had been there? Your athlete wouldn't have won the gold medal either. Come on. That's just really catty stuff. I also think that my view of that has changed a lot, because I realized I thought about a lot. If I put myself in the shoe and let's say I was an Olympian or going to be an Olympian, great. That's awesome. But then what's the next thing you want? You want a gold medal or you want a silver medal. And then how many Olympics can you make? And you start to realize this is never going to end. It's like a business. You make $1 million and you want to make $2 million and you want to make $3 million. You're always going to be striving for something more, and there's always going to be someone that has more than you. So you need to really evaluate your goals based on actually what you want, and not based on what the world's kind of telling you. Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna scroll here. I guess I'll tell you what my plan is. So my plan right now is to eventually create a document of what numbers I've hit, what I'd like to hit. I'm getting old for this sport. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna try to do it until literally I'm going in reverse and just try to hold on to it as long as possible. If I could be in my 50s and 60s and be close to the numbers I'm hitting now, I would be thrilled with that, or even half of the numbers I'm hitting now. So part of it's just for me at this point, holding on to what I have and just keep showing up. That seems to be enjoyable for me. That seems to be what I think my personal goal is based on my values. I also think years of personal training clients has really changed my perspective on the sport of weightlifting, because I work with so many people and I realize people will take their fitness goals and be well, I lost 10 pounds, but that person over there lost 30 pounds and I want to be like them, and what I did isn't as impressive as what they did. Yeah, but we don't know, maybe you had way more obstacles. maybe they just had the perfect scenario. Like, there's too many variables. So like, you can't really judge your success based on anyone else but yourself. So my plan, again, is to take my personal goals based on my values and try to aim for stuff I think I want to do regardless of surrounding input. I'm going to try my best. I mean, I still want to make more international teams, I think, but like at this point, I'm no longer striving to try to be the best in the sport. I'm just trying to get better every year. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I am not going to be number one. I am just not. I might be number one for nationals, and it might be like a random time because I showed up and nobody else did, and I will take that as a win. But again, I'm also not going to devalue that win because so-and-so didn't show up. That's not my problem. All right, I hope this was helpful for some of you guys because I know there's a lot of new weightlifters out there, and I know everyone's like, why am I doing this? You should probably just do it for fun. 98% of people are not going to make the Olympics, but some of you might. Like, you aren't going to know unless you put effort in and master the skill in many, many years. I still think there's so many rewards for me from learning to Olympic weightlift, learning the skill of like doing the same thing over and over again. And even after 10 years, I'll still get given the exercise and I'll be like, wow, why the other 15 coaches never show me this exercise? Like, there's always something to learn, and that's kind of what's enjoyable about the sport. Again, if you found this video useful, like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments like what you want to learn about. I don't know like exactly what I'm gonna do with this channel. I do know I'm gonna like post my numbers and kind of where I'm going. I'd like to post more of my training videos and then some like educational videos, because I think my enjoyment comes more from sharing information than trying to like one up everybody. It's just not that enjoyable to me. And I feel like everybody is super competitive in this very tiny sport. And yeah, I'm trying to make it just a little bit friendlier. So let me know what you think, guys, and have a great day.